2024. What are we going to do? What do people usually do? The New Year's. They make New Year's resolutions. They start working it out. They start drawing out a plan, trying to make sure that the beginning begins with intention. I admit I am one of those. I really, really am. I have not did any content or any podcasting because every time I come to my office, my desk is full. And I come and I say, I just need to organize. I just need to clear my desk. I need to go through all the things. And then I can just show up in my office and press record. Well, I've been saying that for so long. I'm like, okay, Chris, just think about it. How did you always do things? I did it dirty. I did it nasty. I'm saying I did it confused. I did it with distractions. I did it with not knowing what I was going to do. So why try now? Not saying we shouldn't try new things. I'm just saying, like, everything that I've done to get this far, I've done messy. I've done, lots of people say half-ass, right? But I got them done versus not getting it done at all. So instead of trying this to be this organized person that you're not, instead of trying to not have the anxiety or the stress that you originally have, then just get all that junk off your desk, move it to the other desk, which I did. And here we are, press and record. Is that easy? I don't know. Some might say, my wife just says I move from one area to the next, which is true. I agree. But what I've also learned about myself, and not that this is any excuse, I've also learned, besides stress, anxiety, depression, I have ADHD, right? This is what my therapy says. Yes, he has a degree, but what does he know, right? But as I start reading and looking into this ADHD, that I'm like, first of all, I'm not hyper. I'm not running up and down walls. I'm the opposite. I'm calm, cool, collective. So I think, and I seem to appear, but obviously inside my head is just like, just racing, just everything, just thoughts, just, I start reading, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is me. This is somebody that it's so hard to focus, loves to start all these things, has interest and hyper focus in something, and then just figures it out, and then loses interest and then goes to the next thing. I always thought something was wrong with me. I'm like, why am I like that? Why do I get bored so easily? And I'm always apologizing to my wife, saying like, I'm sorry, I know you're tired of me, right? Because I started a new business or a business venture, a new hobby, and then it's just like I go all in until I get to that point of not success to everybody, but I get success to myself, right? Or how about this? You research so many things, you learn so much about it, and then you're like, it's not for me. So all those things that you bought and researched, and you already bought all the items you need to start and succeed this business, are sitting there and you can't return them because you're now past a 30-day, 90-day return policy. That's me. You know, and I want to say, what was the first thing that triggered my therapist to tell me what I had? I don't know what made him think what. Oh, you know, when you argue with somebody or talk, negotiate, whatever it is, right? Whatever you call it. There's people that fight, flight, or freeze. And I tell them, you know, it's like, I always know I could say these things, or I always know I can, you know, hurt somebody's feelings, but I like freeze, number one, because I don't like confrontation. And not that I'm not about the confrontation, because I can go off if I want to go off, but it's kind of like I know better, so I freeze, because if I open my mouth, I'm going to say something that is going to break relationships, right? Or it's going to start fists fighting or whatnot. Like, I can be all three: flight, fight, freeze, fright, whatever these terms were. I could be all of them. I really don't ever walk away, but maybe the more I learn about it, I'm like, maybe I should. But I would think that's going to make somebody more mad, right? Anyways, as I'm discovering all these things, I'm discovering that this is me. I keep notes everywhere. My wife hates finding all these note cards around the house, of the things. I read a list. I've learned that I'm doing things myself all my life. I've been doing things myself to try to help me with myself. And I had no idea. Now that I'm reading things, I'm like, okay, these are all tips and tricks. So I was figuring how to deal and cope with ADHD my own self without anybody ever teaching me or showing me, right? I even bought this app. I got this app that supposedly helps me. I'm not saying it doesn't help people, but first of all, ADHD people, there's different types, and the type I am is you're very forgetful. Like, I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, do you have to repeat things overly in your head just to make sure you don't forget it? It's like, if the flight's gonna leave in an hour, I need to tell myself, you got an hour, 7 o'clock, because I know come that hour, I already forgot. Like, you've lost track of time, right? But anyways, it's just crazy. So now the more that I'm learning, it's interesting to learn about myself, but at the same point, I feel like it's discouraging. I feel like now that you've put a label on me, it's horrible. Now I feel, what's the word? Before, I just used to think there's something wrong with Chris. I'm like, why does Chris have to be this way? Why is Chris like this? And now that I'm learning that it's ADHD, I'm just like, well, dang, something's wrong with me. Like something's really wrong with me. So now I have to learn how to do things a certain way or what's going to help me. So now, instead of thinking I was dumb, because in school I used to think I was dumb, right? Yes, I passed, but I just felt like it was 10 times harder for me to learn or to sit because, number one, I hated class. Like, I didn't like listening. When it was time to do a test, I'm here the night before trying, or maybe just reviewing the words because I knew it wasn't going to sink in. So I just felt like I didn't learn like other people. So I just thought Chris is dumb and people don't know it. Chris is just very uninterested. Sometimes people start conversations and my mind's just having all these conversations elsewhere. The way I describe it is I used to love watching the Chappelle Show. And I remember Dave Chappelle being at a restaurant, like on a date, and the person is like white people or something. I can't remember, but like they're talking to him or talking business or whatever it was. And he's just like, sheep, cow, boobs. Like, he just has all these things going on. And that's how I feel. Like, I'm standing in front of somebody and I could literally start laughing or getting mad or falling asleep because my mind just loses interest. And I know it makes some people mad because sometimes I'm like, okay, like I say what they're trying to say. Like, I finish the sentence versus allowing them to say, because I'm like, okay, let's solve it, right? Like, the problem you're coming to me with, I just need to know it and I can help you. But it's taking you this long to get to the question or to the problem. I'm like, I see the problem already. Let's get it. And it can piss people off. It looks like I may be impatient. I this, I that. But when I'm looking at something else that I'm hyper focused to, I'm interested in, it's like, oh, she takes her time. She likes this. She watches it over and over. Like, it looks so ugly, especially in relationships, because it looks like you're uninterested. You give no attention. You care so less about what this person is interested in. But when it comes to you, you look so selfish because you're just so hyper focused into this thing. But really, it's not that I'm selfish into me or whatever. It's that thing. And they say you can actually be very hyper focused, like on a person as well. And I get it, because I want to say, like, the beginning of my relationship with my wife, I want to say I was so not needy, but I was so there on it. Like, what do you need? What do you want? Da, 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 like, hyper focused. And it just completely like went away, right? And not saying love went away. No, just like they say, you become like obsessed, right? I'm not saying I was obsessed. I'm just saying, like, you become very hyper focused. So now that I'm learning everything is coming to, and I'm like, that was me this whole time. And now, they say it could come from parents or both or this or that. Now I visit my parents. I'm like, I think it's my mom. I want to say it's my mom. She gets very annoyed on things. I remember every time I would like use her car to go down the street, she's like, don't change my chair. Don't move my mirrors. Okay, let me get in a car crash, Mom. But I'm the same way. It's like I took so much to get it right the way I want it that I don't want to have to go through this change. It's like if anything has changed around me or what I'm used to, it's like a horrible thing just explosive, just crashing down on me. But it only takes this little much more time to get it back the way it was. But since I'm expecting it to be the way I left it, it's horrible, right? So this is why I wouldn't have thought it was ADHD. To me, it's just like, you're just nitpicky, Chris. You're hard to live with. You hate things that annoy you. You just have a big old annoying list, like I really, 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 really thought I was just a very picky, don't touch my stuff, and I always tell my friend, like, I hate it when people touch my stuff, and I have nothing to hide. I'm not doing this or that or cheating or anything. I just don't like anyone touching my stuff. And I used to blame that on prison, because prison, you had no privacy. But this is just Chris. Or I should just say, this is just ADHD. So yes, as adult ADHD and in women, it is very far and few between diagnosed, because women don't, I guess they don't see it. They don't know. I didn't know, like, adult ADHD. I just thought if you had it as a kid, you have it as an adult. Not you can get it as an adult, right? I'm not saying I got it as an adult. I see things that I can see this happen in high school or middle school, and and it's going to be more common because of electronics and technology now. But with my age group, we just had technology, like, say 7th, 8th grade, not all our lives. So maybe that's how. Who knows? But I'm always thinking, like, what do you want to do, Chris? What is it that you want to do? And I just want to continue to be me. I take interest in so many things. I learn so many things. I know how to do many things. And they say stay laser focused on this thing until you let this thing grow and become successful, and it's successful, and then you move on to the next thing. But I beg to differ. I feel like Chris is Chris, and Chris loves and likes so much. And I always got to feel like I'm doing multiple things that interest me just to keep my mind going, because one thing doesn't just interest me. But as I'm learning and reading daily about the struggles of ADHD and how to help me in, entrepreneurship, business, self-employment, whatever it is, I'm like, why can't I just talk about that? This is just Chris with a little bit of ADHD.